Hey everybody, I have some new stuff from Magic School and some old stuff, and there is a lot going on in here. I love Magic School. If you've never used it, today is a great day to dive in and try it out. So I'm going to do a quick overview for you, and then I'm going to show you the new Chrome extension, and I'm going to show you how to push chatbots out to your students. So there's some new things sprinkled with some things that have been around for a bit. So let's go. First of all, the overview. Now, this is the Magic Tools tab here, and it has just a ton of tools that you can dive into, and you can filter them, you can search for them. So let's say I want to look for the accommodations tool or get help with that. You can search for whatever you are needing, and then if you know that you're going to use that tool a lot, you could star it. What's great about the star then is that it will show up in the top here. So I've favorited the text translator and accommodation suggestions. Highly encourage you to just go on a scavenger hunt for things that you might want to star. Okay, so the new Chrome extension for Magic School is kind of useful. It's a lot like Brisk. If you've ever used Brisk, it's a little thing that you install. And to do that, you would just Google Chrome Store or Chrome extension for Magic School AI or Magic School, and this is the Chrome Web Store page, and you would just select to add it to Chrome. And if you've installed it already, you can remove it if you want to, if you don't feel like you'll use it. Once you go through the steps to install this and you're in Google Chrome, it's going to show up in your list of extensions here. And I clicked on the puzzle piece to show that list, and you want to make sure that it has a little pin there. You can pin any of your extensions to make them show up here. So the ones that you use the most, you'll want to pin. But once we've pinned it, then it will show up down in the bottom corner. So for example, if I'm in a Google Doc, I can click on this little Magic School button down here, and it pops up. And I have started a little song here just to show you, but it pops up the Magic School interface. It looks like this at first, and then you can open up the tools to look at what you want to do. Or you can just ask Raina, because Raina is like the chat GPT of Magic School. You can just ask it whatever, right? So in here, I'm going to look for the song generator. Maybe it kept no, it didn't. But we're going to do a water cycle song that hits on a few things here. Mention precipitation, evaporation, just to make sure it hits the high points. Now, this is optional. It probably would hit these things anyway, in all honesty. Runoff, condensation. Just leave it at that. Okay, so we're going to generate a song to the tune of Taylor Swift's Shake It Off about the water cycle, making sure that we hit our important vocabulary. And so we've used Magic School just right here next to our Google Doc. We copy it, we paste it, and we're good to go. So this works wherever you're working, as long as you're in Google Chrome. So if you're in Canvas, or if you're in, like Google Classroom, Seesaw, wherever you are, it's going to be able to interface just like this, right down in the bottom corner. There are a lot of similarities with it with Brisk. This is the Brisk icon down here. If you've never used that, it's also worth checking out. I have a whole video about that, so go check that out. There are some differences. One of the big differences between the two of these is that with Brisk, you can interact with any website almost and create content based on that website. You can go navigate to a YouTube video and create questions and stuff about that specific YouTube video. You can do the same with any website. You can't do that at this time with Magic School. It's just being able to use the tools right where you are, which is useful in and of itself. So you just bring it up and hit the generate button with whatever tool you wanted to use, or just ask Raina. So that's the new Chrome extension. It's pretty exciting, honestly. Okay, now switching back over to the Magic School tab, I wanted to just briefly show you the launch to students functionality. So when you launch a room to students, it gives you the ability to really control what they're doing with AI tools, which is so, so important. We have to be teaching our students about these AI tools. either in Magic School or somewhere else, because it's part of their future reality, right? So I created a room by clicking Launch New Room, and I gave it a name. And I'm just going to click into here, and it will allow me at this point. I've already created it, but you can select tools. And so I'm going to go ahead and edit the room so that I can add some tools in so you can see what it looks like. So I selected 6th grade. You want to be careful here because the customizations or the tools that you select here will only be working at the 6th grade level. Super important to recognize. Okay. Now I've already selected a couple of tools. I'm going to select one more. So I selected the tutor and the sentence starter, and I'm going to allow them also to use an idea generator. Okay, so those are what I want them to be able to interact with for this session. If you have a really focused goal, that's really great. And so you just need to choose the tool that is appropriate for that. Once you click next, you can customize these. So for example, if we want to create a tutor about the water cycle, then we can tell it on the water cycle. So I'm just customizing the description here. And so here's where I can say water cycle, and I can actually ask it to help me prompt the chatbot. So here's my prompt assistant popping up, and here's, so there's my improved prompt. It's great. I want to go ahead and accept that, and then it allows me to just go from there. All right, so, and you can save it as a template to use later. That's great. Once I've saved this, this will be what your students get to interact with. It will already start with that prompt, and that's where they go. All right, so now I've updated my room, and what you do to get this out to your students is it will show, if you click join info, or it will show this once you've created it initially, a join URL, which you can then send to your students. You can get it to them in Canvas or Google Classroom or whatever. So you just copy the URL and then paste it in, and I'm going to go and show you what it looks like from the student side. The join info also includes a Google Classroom assignment that you can create, which is great. And then a join code if you want to just show this on the board and have students go to student.magicschool.ai/s/join, and then they put in the code, or they could do the QR code. All right, and from the student side, this is what it ends up looking like. They have to put their name in. I'm just going to put name and join room. That you would want them to put their real name. Okay, and so it shows them this little acknowledgement page. And then I'm going to click on our water cycle tutor, and notice it's the same as what we put in earlier. And so it starts the conversation, and it's asking a question. Can you tell me what you already know about how water moves through the environment? At this point, you're going to want the students to really interact with that. So I'm just going to be kind of an ornery student here. I don't know anything yet. Okay. Now, the reason I wanted to just show that really quick is that I wanted to jump back here, and I can see, here's my student name. I'm going to refresh this here really quick. And that was me, right? And whoops, I just clicked a button. That was me. And so you can see the green button here that says I'm active, the last message that person gave, and then you can actually you can click on them and see their whole chat. So it tells you can follow along completely. It will also give you a heads up in the moderate if some student says something inappropriate. It will ask you to moderate that. So that's how the student rooms look. That's really pretty useful. Last, before I end this video, I just wanted to show you the Raina piece. Raina, the chatbot in Magic School, is just like Chat GPT version. And all of this is just how it's a version of Chat GPT that we're putting in a wrapper and inside Magic School. It's just running off of these large language models. But Raina is the instructional coach or the general AI, and you can chat with it about anything. It will also save your chats, which is really, really useful. Okay. And notice in any of the chatbot functionalities that you see with your students, it can read aloud these. You can save things as resources in the actions. You can export things and custom take it out and create questions or rewrite it, all sorts of things. So there's so much you can do that's just designed directly for teachers. Great, great stuff. I hope you've enjoyed this summary and overview of Magic School with some of the new features. And if you have any questions or comments, just reach out and let me know. Thanks.